Virtual today after a threat of a school shooter surfaces on social media. Sbu-Tv is live on site with more information. Plus, the new COVID variant reaches New York. How is the Omicron variant different and what can you expect? We have the answers.
Well, hello, welcome to Randy's Up the River. Come on in and enjoy.
Sbu-Tv goes to a local favorite this week, catching up with a community staple with a unique story.
Hey everyone, I'm Chief Meteorologist Aaron Mankowski with your SBU forecast.
Sbu-Tv starts right now. A violent threat made against the Allegheny Limestone School District moves students to virtual learning today. Kurt Martone is live at the flagship school off 5 Mile Road in Cattaraugus County with developing details. Kurt?
Allegheny Limestone Middle and High School, where overnight the school received what they're calling a credible threat. Now last night, a concerned parent emailed us a screenshot from Snapchat that shows that. We have that picture for you this morning. It shows guns laid out on a bed with the caption, "Don't go to school tomorrow, joke." The superintendent told us in an email this morning that at 9:19 the district was made aware of the social media post that alluded to a threat. Law enforcement is now aware and an investigation is underway, but in an abundance of caution, they sent out a message that kids shouldn't come to school today. They're moving to virtual learning. Olean city schools are also virtual today. They don't think that this threat applies to them as well, but out of an abundance of caution, they are doing the same. We're currently working to learn more, and we're also working to confirm the image that we were given. And this threat comes only days after a deadly school shooting was reported in Metro Detroit at Oxford High School. The 15-year-old is accused of killing 4 victims and injuring 7 others. For now, relatively quiet, not too many cars, as non-staff is currently banned from the campus. That's all I have. Back to you guys in the studio.
Good morning and welcome to Sbu-Tv. I'm Louis Genovese.
And I'm Anthony Goss.
A new variant of COVID-19, the Omicron variant, has taken the world by storm this week after discovery in South Africa. Dozens of countries have found Omicron within its borders. It was discovered in the U.S. and found in New York State just yesterday. What do you need to know about its Omicron as it nears our community? Jordan Fitch has the answers.
The Omicron variant is the latest in the COVID pandemic, which has lasted almost a year now since its discovery in January of 2020. There is little known about Omicron since its discovery last week. South African scientists and researchers say Omicron has a higher mutation rate than past variants and may have an increased risk of infecting those who previously had COVID. Current research has also shown that Omicron may not affect taste or smell, the telltale symptom of COVID.
We want to see, based on recent reports or studies, how severe of complications are often associated with this type of variant. And then we want to see whether or not our vaccines are effective against this particular variant.
As for the university, I asked Tom Missel what they plan to do if Omicron arrives on campus.
You know, if for some reason there's a really rapid spread, we may have to rethink that. So we're quite nimble and ready to pull a plug on something if we need to at a moment's notice. But at the moment, the way things are trending, we don't foresee anything for the rest of the semester.
Despite the limited information, Dr. Watkins had one piece of advice.
Our message to the community about this new variant, the Omicron variant, is that for those who are on the fence and have not gotten vaccinated, we would encourage them to get vaccinated. And for those who have previously gotten vaccinated, if they're 18 years of age and older, we would encourage them to get a booster as soon as possible.
This is Jordan Fitch reporting. New. Now. Next.
Missel did not say if booster shots would be required in the future. The COVID-19 task force continues to discuss the pandemic and possible changes as the school year progresses.
Omicron has officially made it to New York, and the state is wasting little time as it believes this new variant could help manufacture another holiday surge. New York's recent state of emergency goes into effect today. It allows the Department of Health to step in and limit procedures and programs that the state deems non-essential in hospitals that have less than 10% staff bed capacity. OGH does not have a bed issue. Only 65% of its beds were full as of November 19. But it is having trouble discharging patients as nursing homes are understaffed. The interim president and CEO of OGH, Mary LaRoe, told Sbu-Tv that they haven't been able to discharge patients to nursing homes, but look forward to staffing support that would help them do so under the new order. Earlier this week, Governor Hochul gave her reasoning behind the policy. Take a look.
So how do we boost bed capacity? First of all, that's why I signed this executive order on Friday. This allows us to have the flexibility, what we call the surge and flex strategy. And one area we have power now to do this is to limit non-essential, non-urgent scheduled procedures at specific hospitals that have the limited capacity. Again, we know exactly the hospitals. We're talking about probably 32 to 36 hospitals right now that fall into that category.
OGH is not one of the hospitals identified in the report. They already restricted a lot of elective services earlier this autumn. 2 hospitals in Chautauqua County and 3 hospitals in Erie County have been identified in the executive action. They can start getting help as early as today. The policy will be looked at again on January 15.
The rising COVID numbers in Cattaraugus County has affected the schools as well. The New York State Health Department reported 150 COVID positive students in just 2 weeks. These numbers come from 11 school districts within Cattaraugus County. Just under 650 cases have been reported by the schools from September to November, with Pioneer Central School having the highest number this year.
And now a look at your local COVID numbers. Checked just minutes ago in Cattaraugus County, around 600 active cases as total COVID cases surpassed 10,000 this week. Meanwhile, at SBU, COVID numbers remain relatively low, with just 6 active cases this week. Last night, the Senate agreed on a spending bill to once again avoid a government shutdown with just hours to spare. CNN's John Lawrence has the latest.
There will be no government shutdown.
After a tense showdown between lawmakers, a bipartisan agreement has been made and a government shutdown has been averted.
This agreement will give appropriators in both parties and in both chambers time to reach a comprehensive agreement on appropriations by February the 18th of next year.
After a handful of Senate Republicans threatened to not vote to keep the federal government funded in order to force a vote to defund the Biden administration's rule that requires employers with 100 or more employees to ensure their employees are fully vaccinated against COVID-19 or undergo regular testing and wear face masks in the workplace.
It's not government's job, it's not within government's authority to tell people that they must be vaccinated, and if they don't get vaccinated, they'll get fired. It's wrong. It's immoral.
No precedent exists in American history for punishing private employers who don't enforce government vaccination edicts.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi slammed the GOP senators' efforts to stall the government funding as silly.
We're not going to go for their anti-vaxxing, okay? So if you think that's how we're going to keep government open, forget that.
A shutdown would have cost the U.S. economy $1.8 billion for each week the government is closed, according to estimates by S&P Global Ratings.
I'm glad that in the end, cooler heads prevailed. The government will stay open.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The bill goes to President Biden today for his signature.
More news this week out of Olean School District. District Superintendent Rick Moore retired this week, leaving the position he's held since 2017. Moore resigned during a special board meeting Tuesday night. School Board President Andrew Saya said on behalf of the school board district and community, we wish Mr. Moore well. The board appointed Aaron Wolf to assume superintendent duties while they search for a replacement. Moore's resignation comes a month after former middle school principal Joe Witcher resigned after criticism for comments made at Fresh Fire Worship Center in Olean.
Happening today, the Presidential Search Committee begins on-campus interviews with the final candidates. The search committee remains on schedule to have a recommendation to the Board of Trustees by the end of the year. And the trustees are on campus this weekend for their own scheduled meeting. Sbu-Tv reached out to the search committee for comment on the process, but received no comment, with one member saying those involved are operating with a notion of confidentiality. SBU's search began after former President Dr. Dennis DePiero passed away in March.
Nurses at Olean General Hospital have agreed to a contract extension. The contract, which was set to end January, now won't expire until 2024. The new agreement includes an almost 10% pay raise for staff. Nurses working evening and overnight shifts will see an 8 or 14% pay raise depending on what shift they work. employees could see a total of a 14% increase in pay over the life of this new contract.
The White House has taken action in regard to boosters, vaccine efficacy, and travel. The CDC has strengthened its recommendation for boosters from something that those over 18 may get to something they should get. In the event that the vaccine recommendations need to be updated, the federal government is working closely with drug makers. The United States has also imposed travel restrictions on 8 countries. The mask requirement for people using mass transit will be extended through March for travelers from the United States, and the window between being tested and for any flight has been shortened.
Meteorologist Aaron Mankowski with your SBU forecast. You're going to find temperatures in the mid-30s on Friday with mostly cloudy skies, maybe a flurry or two. Can't rule out a rain or snow shower on Saturday, upper 30s. Rain showers return on Sunday. Temperatures on Sunday topping out in the low 40s.
And we're following breaking news today. A threat to Cattaraugus County Schools forces students to learn online this morning. Kurt Martone is live in Allegheny Limestone Central School with the full story next. Hanukkah is this week. Sbu-Tv's Aidan Varley looked into this staple celebration of the Jewish community.
And later, mere days after the school shooting in Michigan, we have updates for you and what charges the suspect is facing.
Can I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
I think it's just vapor and flavors. It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes.
Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org.
A bizarre threat to school is Cattaraugus County Schools this morning. Let's go live at Allegheny Limestone Schools again with Sbu-TV's Kurt Martone. Kurt?
That's right, Anthony. I'm once again, outside Allegheny Limestone Middle and High School, where things are functioning relatively normal, except without students. Of course, the students are virtual today. We just saw 2 straight state troopers go past us. They went the other direction about 15 minutes ago, and police have set up a checkpoint at the entrance. Just moments ago, we watched them vet a white truck on his way in. They let him through, so I'm guessing he works here. And we have seen some delivery trucks come through. They came through before the cops set up that checkpoint. And so things are functioning relatively normal. We know that a few staff vehicles are here. Cops continue to work the scene to try to figure out what exactly is going on. And we're still working to try to figure out what exactly is going on as well. Of course, like I said, we have that picture. We have the statement from the superintendent. We're just waiting to hear what the cops have to say. Back to you.
Thanks, Kurt.
Hanukkah is underway, and this year it started unusually early. Sbu-TV's Aidan Varley tells us why and the history behind the Jewish holiday tradition.
Hanukkah is celebrated early because the holiday is celebrated on the 25th day of the month of Kislev on the Hebrew calendar. The Hebrew word Hanukkah, which means dedication, is a Jewish holiday which celebrates the recovery of Jerusalem. The Maccabees, who are a Jewish army, defeated the Syrians in the 2nd century BCE, which led to the rededication of the Second Temple. Hanukkah started at sundown on November 28th and lasts until sundown on December 6th. The centerpiece of Hanukkah is the menorah, which is a candelabra that holds 9 candles. The 8 candles symbolize the amount of days the temple lantern blazed in 2nd century BCE. The 9th candle, also known as the smasha, is the helper candle that light the others. Jews eat fried foods during Hanukkah to pay homage to the oil that burned for 8 days to help soldiers rededicate the temple. Other Hanukkah traditions include playing the dreidel game, reciting prayer, and giving Hanukkah gel. Next year, the Hebrew calendar will have a leap year, and Hanukkah will be celebrated in late December. With Sbu-Tv, I'm Aiden Varley. New, now, next.
Want to celebrate Hanukkah on campus this year? St. Bonaventure Chapel has a menorah for those students celebrating Hanukkah.
Ethan Crumbley, the 15-year-old suspect in a Michigan high school shooting, was in court yesterday. He is accused of killing 4 students and injuring 7 others. The 15-year-old is being charged as an adult. Crumbley faces 4 counts of first-degree murder and one count of terrorism, among other charges. Prosecutors are also considering charges against the teen's parents. The judge denied bond in the case.
This week, the criminal trial for Ghislaine Maxwell, a former associate of Jeffrey Epstein. Maxwell is facing federal charges that include conspiracy and sex trafficking. Larry Vazovsky, Epstein's former pilot, took the stand and listed high-profile passengers he flew, including former President Bill Clinton. The trial has illuminated some of Epstein's other connections to high-profile figures like Donald Trump and Prince Andrew. Epstein was indicted on federal sex trafficking charges in July 2019. He was found dead in his prison cell a month later in what the medical examiner ruled a suicide.
The U.S. Supreme Court appears poised to uphold a controversial Mississippi abortion ban, but it is not clear whether the court will entirely overrule Roe v. Wade. That landmark 1973 decision gave women the right to have an abortion up until the fetus is viable, which can happen around 24 weeks into pregnancy. On Wednesday, the conservative-leaning court heard arguments on the Mississippi law, which would ban abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. The Supreme Court has upheld the Roe v. Wade amendment multiple times over nearly half a century. Full overturning would end nationwide right to abortion as it exists today. Importantly, it would also violate the Supreme Court's policy of following precedent set in past decisions. However, the balance of the High Court has swung heavily conservative in recent years.
Justices over 50 years have, or I should say 30 since Casey, have reaffirmed that basic viability line.
During Wednesday's arguments, the conservative justices did express skepticism about precedent cases like Roe v. Wade.
And up on your screens right now, Sbu-Tv's social media handles. We keep you up to date on Instagram and Facebook throughout the week, so you never miss a thing. So give us a follow or screenshot the images so you stay up to date.
We're open every day. We've never closed, only because some people have no place to go on the holidays. And we're there for
The life of a local legend. Many know him simply as Randy, the owner and operator of Randy's on the River. Sbu-Tv's Johnny Washington looked into his life and the interesting reason behind his iconic long hair.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
We scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs.
How you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Thank you.
A place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
Being prepared is a part of who you are. But it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
Welcome back to Sbu-Tv. We now go to John East Washington, who's live in studio.
Thanks, Anthony. This week, I had a chat with one of the owner of the community's favorite spots, Randy Korkowitz. Randy is the owner of 2 restaurants in the area, Randy's Up the River and Randy's Fireside. Randy's seen as a local celebrity to the community with his interesting life. Take a look.
Welcome to Randy's Up the River. Come on in and enjoy.
Randy Korkowitz is the beloved owner of Randy's Up the River in Allegheny. Randy has been managing this restaurant for almost 34 years. When he first got the restaurant, he turned it into a biker stop until he made an important realization.
I started off, I saw that there was no real biker bars in the area, so we tried a little bit of that, but that alienated some people. So I kept melding it back and forth and trying to find out what was most welcoming for everybody.
With his realization, Randy's restaurant creates an atmosphere that accepts everyone in the community.
I love it. The atmosphere is really great. I love the people who come in. They're all super nice, and everyone I work with is really nice and great.
With Randy owning a locally recognized restaurant, he has won many awards throughout the years, but there's only one that holds a place in his heart.
Hospitality Award from the Chamber of Commerce, and it wasn't so much for my food being better than anyone else's. The thing that made it nice was the award was given because of we're open every day. We've never closed, only because some people have no place to go on the holidays, and we're there for them.
One of the most interesting things about Randy is his love for the Buffalo Bills.
He looked at me and said, "We got a new team in Buffalo, and we're going to root for them for the rest of our lives." And I said, "Okay." And I stuck to that promise. I've been rooting for the Bills since they were invented in 1960.
Randy loves the Bills so much that he made a deal with his wife that he still honors to this day.
I got my hair cut for the wedding that the Bills were getting better back in that era. And I said, I'm not gonna cut my hair until the Bills win the Super Bowl. Still goes.
Do you still have any? He loves his community and does everything he can to give back. Reporting for Sbu-Tv, I'm John East Washington.
Anthony and Louie, back over to you guys.
Next in sports, the men's rugby team plays in the semifinals Saturday afternoon. Hear what the team is saying about the big game. And sports director Ryan Bullen is live in the studio to bring us up to speed on everything Bonnie's basketball. Stay with us.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
Sports.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfies. Nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Thanks for sticking with us this Friday morning. We now go to Ryan Boland, who's live with sports.
Hello everyone and welcome to Sbu-Tv Sports. I'm Ryan Boland. The Bonnies men's rugby team, who have been ranked #1 in the country by National Collegiate Rugby for the last 6 weeks, is set to play in the semifinals Saturday afternoon with a trip to Houston on the line. Our Tyler Everett spoke to the team this week in preparation for the big game.
For the National Collegiate Rugby semifinals Saturday against the Kutztown Golden Bears. Still riding high off an impressive 39-7 victory over the University of Mary Washington in the quarterfinals, the Bonnies look to continue their dominance over NCR opponents. Head coach Tui Osborne hopes his team can continue their impressive run.
The guys have been improving every week, and it's showing. And I think we've yet to play our best game. You know, this weekend is another opportunity for us to get on the pitch and display what we've been training and what the guys have been preparing for.
Junior lock, Ricky Rose, has been a big part of the Bonnies' success this season, and he spoke on the experience and expectations and leadership the team has leading into the match.
I think the boys are ecstatic. I mean, we all can't wait to play, which is such an amazing atmosphere we got going on right now. I think we really just have a core group of leaders, and even non-captains. I think most of the people playing, starting right now, have just been putting up great examples for the younger guys.
With a win against Kutztown, who the Bonnies defeated earlier in the season 17-12, the Bonnies would advance to the championship in Houston to face off against the winner of the #2 ranked Penn State and 3rd ranked Queens. You can catch the Bonnies taking on Kutztown at 1 p.m. on Saturday on the NCR YouTube channel. For Sbu-Tv, I'm Tyler Everett.
The men's basketball team tipped off Wednesday night in their first game of the season outside of the AP Top 25 rankings. Leading by 1 with 7 minutes to go in the first half, Coppin State went on a 15-2 run to lead by 12. They would take a 3-point lead into the break. In the second half, this Attaway lay-in gave the Bonnies a 3-point lead with 15 minutes to go, and the Bonnies kept that lead until the final buzzer. Jaron Holmes led the Bonnies down the stretch, finishing this one with a team-high 24 points, as the Bonnies escaped this one with a 93-81 victory to move to 6-1 on the season. Here was Jaron Holmes after the game on his team trailing at the half to the 1-9 Bald Eagles.
If I'm being completely honest, I'm not really pleased as of right now. We're a better team. We'll get better. We got to fix some things. Coach is going to help us with that. We can't keep coming out like that.
Leading by 8 with under a minute to go in the game, Kyle Lofton went down with what appeared to be an ankle injury. According to Pick and Splinter's Bonnies men's basketball beat writer Chucky Maggio, multiple sources told him Lofton was getting imaging done Thursday morning. There was expected to be an update in Coach Schmidt's pregame press conference later today, but after the game Wednesday, Coach Schmidt kept it short to the media in reply to the injury, saying he is not a doctor. The Bonnies are set to take the court Saturday afternoon to take on their rival, the Buffalo Bulls, in a sold-out Riley Center. Buffalo Bulls starting guard Maceo Jack had this to say in preparation for the game tomorrow.
I'm expecting it to be electric. You know, the fans, they bring that energy, and it's always packed when you're there. So I'm expecting to have a lot of energy in that crowd and, you know, playing in a hostile environment. But the environment we create in our practice will help us prepare for that. So I'm excited for what's going to entail us. So.
The Bonnies come in at 6-1, just outside the AP Top 25 rankings, while the Bulls come in at 4-2, with one of their losses coming against the Michigan Wolverines by just 12, who are currently ranked 24th in the country. The Bonnies may have to play without their star point guard, Kyle Lofton, who would be missing his first career game due to injury if he cannot suit up. The game is set to tip off Saturday at 4 p.m., airing on NBC Digital. The women get set to play host to the 5-1 Kent State Golden Flashes tonight at 7 p.m. in the Riley Center. The Bonnies also come in at 5-1 as they are off to their best start in 8 seasons. Kent State will give the Bonnies their toughest test yet as they've had key wins against a ranked Michigan team and Penn State. Head coach Jesse Fleming is well aware of that, and he emphasized how big the challenge is heading into the game.
They're good. That's a core of their team that's been together three or 4 years, and they're just a really quality basketball team. We'll know once we play Kent State how much better of a team we are.
The Bonnies and Golden Flashes tip off tonight at 7 p.m. You can watch the game on ESPN Plus with myself on the call. And come Monday night, a division rivalry will be reborn as the Buffalo Bills host the New England Patriots in Orchard Park. For years, the Patriots dominated the Bills with a man named Tom Brady. But last year, after his departure to Tampa Bay, Buffalo had their first division crown this century. Now the Bills look to keep their reign as division champs going as the Patriots have a new golden boy leading the way in Mac Jones. The Bills and Pats separated by just a half a game in the division right now with just 6 weeks remaining, with the Pats riding a 6-game win streak. The game is set to kick off Monday night at 8:15 p.m. on ESPN. A big weekend in Western New York with the Bulls playing the Bonnies and the Bills playing in prime time. Get your popcorn ready. You can catch highlights of the basketball teams and view our Sbu-Tv sports basketball show that airs every Tuesday at 5 p.m. on our social media accounts at Sbu-Tv Sports. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. That's all the time we have for sports today. Back over to you, Anthony and Louie.
In case you missed this morning, Allegheny, Limestone, and Olean schools are closed today after a threat surfaced on social media. The threat featured a picture of a gun. Take a look at the caption that reads, "Don't come to school tomorrow." The threat believed to be directed towards Allegheny, Limestone, but Olean schools closing out of caution. We're in touch with the school superintendent this morning. He tells us the sheriff's office is investigating.
We want to keep you updated on this investigation, so take a look at your screen and follow our social media handles this morning. We'll post here as more information becomes available.
Thank you so much for tuning in for Sbu-Tv this morning. I'm Louis Genovese.
And I'm Anthony Goss. Have a great Friday.